because it's a facility. It's not a home, it's a facility. If you have a resident that's diabetic, is that caretaker qualified to know exactly what type of a meal to prepare? And based on what they have prepared, what dosage of insulin to give that patient?
We don't.
So you don't have diabetic patients or diabetic residents?
Wait, I think I do.
First of all, let me point out one thing. Under this licensure, we're required to have an administrator, all right? Someone who has a certain level of experience taking care of seniors. That will be part of this oversight of this group. The state mandates that, all right? That person has to have a certain amount of experience in management dealing with seniors in this. So we will not be letting seniors be vulnerable because someone's cooking. There will be caregivers that will have oversight for these people. Right now, you asked if we're going to be. Now we're a non-medical assisted living community.
Okay, so if it's a non-medical assisted living community, but it's for 55 and older with disabilities, is, for example, is drug addiction considered a disability? Attorney?
Many things are considered a disability, but...
Is pedophilia considered a disability?
Please let me finish. Their request is to be licensed only, to be operating only under this particular act, which allows for them to serve people in the capacity that they described, which people need assistance with activities of daily living. That's what this particular state law is about. So there are group homes that serve all kinds of other populations. This is one who wants to be operating and licensed under a particular act, and the approval for that would be embodied in the ordinance by the board. So the only people they would be authorized to serve are the people they have a license for, and the request for the waiver and the waiver itself if granted would only be based on that particular type of facility.
And so from what she's just told me, none of these people have medical needs.
They're defined as
Did
having...
you say that? None of these people have medical needs.
That's not my intention. What I said is we're licensed as an assisted living community. We're there to support their activities of daily living.
But you just said that none of them have medical needs.
I didn't say that. I never said that.
Did I misunderstand that?
So who's responsible for the medications? Yeah.
Oh.
So we will hire a nurse to do medication setup.
So we keep adding.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's what assisted living communities do. Whether you go to a beautiful large North Shore place or you go to the Springs of Victory Lakes.
It's now 17 people. You're calling yourself a senior group home.
Well, it's a similar licensure, but yeah, it is a senior group home.
That's another
All the shared housing is the licensure.
I only have 3 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so, and then my last question is, if you have, this is your first experience, so you really don't know how this whole thing's going to play out. You don't know the work that's going to be involved. You haven't experienced everything that's going to happen, possibly, with this home or facility. So my next question would be, if you had this facility in, I think what was mentioned earlier, Grays Lake, somebody said Wakanda, Nick Henry. If they were there and you are advertising, send your aged mother to live in our group home. She's going to love the social aspect. She's going to be well cared for, blah, 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 blah. And it's going to cost, in Riverwoods, $8,000 a month. In McHenry, would it still be $8,000? In Wakanda, would it still be $8,000? Or is this kind of a advertising thing that you can put your mother or your father in a home in Riverwoods? Beautiful, lovely Riverwoods, where most of all of us have spent the last 20 or plus years putting blood, sweat, and tears into our property, obeying the ordinances that our people have said where we can't have a fence. We can't have a fence. We have to have setbacks. And basically what you're doing, if this is allowed, because the law says we have to allow it, is you're going to be putting 13 people into a property where everybody around them is hostile. They don't want them there. They don't care if they happen to get out the road and they're wandering around half dressed because maybe the caretaker's making the breakfast.
Okay, okay. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Good.
I want to say one thing.
No, please sit down and get around.
Who's cleaning? There's more people. She keeps saying more people. There's a nurse, there's a cleaner.
Please.
Who's going to mop the floors and change the sheets
Go ahead.
every day?
I'll make this
That's more
quick.
people.
You know, I would just like us to be respectful to our residents and give them the opportunity to speak. Okay? Thank you.
She makes a good point, because this is continuing to expand, and I do agree, I concur with the comments of others. I just want to make a couple of other points. I don't want us to minimize.
Can we just get your name? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Camille Halton. And I live on Duffy Lane. I live across from Gabe Cormos. And I don't want us to actually minimize the physical impact that the physical changes to this property would have on the surrounding properties. Somebody brought up that it floods. I can tell you, if you drive by right now, Gabe's, his entire yard is underwater. And so what does that mean when you add 1,000 square feet to the house next door and parking? You are going to have to provide access for not only emergency vehicles, there's going to be traffic for deliveries. There's going to be transport to take people to doctor's offices. There's going to be other people coming in, nurses or whomever, to provide the care for these people. So I don't really want to minimize the physical impact, not just traffic-wise, but what's going to happen to the surrounding properties. The other thing I'll comment on, and I think people are so emotional, hearing that this has been in front of you since June, and we're just hearing about it tonight, and it's getting to a vote, or potentially a vote, is very upsetting.
And so just let me just on that, and I don't disagree with one comment about notification, and I think that's something that the village will look further at. But as far as this group being in front of the Planning Commission, they were only here at the last meeting giving us a short introduction, and that's it. They've had some meetings with village officials on different things, but this is really the first major presentation we have also seen.
All right, so thank you. I was using your words that you had been in conversations since June. So I'm also kind of concerned about the fact that now we have our legal representative for the village. Bruce, with all due respect, listening to your presentation, it really sounds like you're just trying to sell what's happening here. And I know you believe in this. We all believe in doing the right thing for the aged population. But I also believe that you need to represent us and the quality of life and the people of Riverwoods as well, and consider that. So I think the real decision here is what might be a reasonable accommodation to get us within the law or to reduce the risk. So that was very upsetting, just hearing that, oh my gosh, it sounds like it's a done deal. And that may not have been your intent, but that's the way it sounded from where we stood. So I would also like to submit, we prepared a letter with our objection. And that's about it.
Thank you. Is that anybody else? So real quickly, I have another letter that a resident had asked me to present, and
Can't hear you.
it's from Heidi and Mark Smithson, 2250 Woodland Lane.
That's what I read.
Oh, you read that?
Yes.
That's the one you read.
Add
Okay.
it.
So now I had both. There was one more. Excuse me. They just emailed it. So technology. Sharon and Amber Dieter live at 3045 Barnard Court in Riverwoods off Duffy Lane. They would like to have this read. Sharon has lived at 3045 Barnard Lane since 1976 and found out about the public hearing. Email pushed out to her. urging residents to attend the meeting to voice your objection against approval of using Duffy Lane as a group home for 13-plus residences. Ambulances, fire trucks, doctors, and visitors will disrupt our peaceful lives. And all hours of the day and night, our resources such as these emergency services, roads, and well water will be overused and property values will go down. That is a letter they received from another resident. We then Googled the issue and found a week-old Plan Commission hearing notice posted in the Chicago Tribune. After much consideration, we cannot think of a reason to object to using 2470 Duffy Lane in the manner proposed. For example, we have not been presented with any evidence or objective rationale behind the statements that ambulances, fire trucks, doctors, and visitors will disrupt our peaceful lives at all hours of the day and night, and that our resources such as these emergency services, roads, and well water will be overused. Nor can we discern much objective rationale behind these statements on our own. We also cannot think of any other reason to object, as we doubt these seniors will be a threat to our public safety or cause noise disturbances, etc. We are open to hearing or reading objective evidence of potential impact on the village of River Woods to see if any potential impacts would outweigh the benefit of allowing the group home to exist. The benefit of the group home would be that seniors in need of housing would have a safe and lovely community in which to live. And if there is a need for housing for those 55 and older who need help with their activities of daily living, we hope that Riverwoods would grant a waiver for one single-family home to be used for their housing. They have to reside in some community, why not ours? Where exactly should these seniors in need of aid be relegated to if all villages and communities like ours deny them access? We are unfortunately unable to attend the public hearing this evening for various reasons, but we hope you will take our thoughts on this matter into consideration. Thank you.
Can you restate the name and so we know what?
They have no mortgage probably, they're living here for 40 years.
So they're from another dimension.
And they're not.
It's from Amber, D-I-E-T-E-R.
Where do they live? What's the address?
I just read it to you. 3045 Farner Court.
Where is that?
Where the hell is that?
That's the annex, it's off of Duffy, it was unincorporated, we annexed it in, so it's like a higher density zone.
Pushing this far enough away and comfortable.
Yeah, it's not gonna be in
Trying to
there.
worry about something else.
Anyways, so I want to be fair to everybody and read all the letters, which we have done.
So I want to say something. I just want, I got to.
David.
We keep adding people. Now we added a nurse, and we added somebody else who's going to do the food. Now, instead of 2 helpers and 1 at night, it's 3, now it's 4. Who is going to clean the floors? They have to be washed every day, these older people. Who's going to wash the sheets? Who's going to clean up the food? You need somebody to come in and clean. That's 2 more people we're going to have, right?
Okay.
So now it's,
Yeah,
doesn't that make sense? Who's going to clean everything? That has to be it has to be like a hospital. That has to be cleaned very much, very quickly. So now we have 2 more people coming. Nothing was that, this really, you didn't think this thing out. And what are you going to do if this goes through and these wonderful people come by and say, you know what? We're going to put 2 more homes down. It's going to be in this street and it's going to be in this street. You can't say no because you already passed all the ordinances. You already gave them the go-ahead. Who's going to stop them or anybody else from coming in and doing it?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we obviously have a lot of information that we still need to get from the applicants. So why don't we make a list of information as the commissioners that you're still looking for from them?
David, would you get closer to the microphone here?
Okay, so I'm going to ask the commissioners that we come up with a list of items that we still need information on based on public comment and yourselves that we're going to request from the applicant. We'll also have one of it was obviously financial information. Anybody else?
One has to do with the maximum number of people who are going to be there. on a daily basis.
Okay. Then we heard that maximum number of people that's been brought up, a lot of people who will be on the premises at any one time.
Can you add to that, including medical services,
All people.
cleaning
So I'm talking
services?
about all
All
people who will be there at any given time, at the maximum load time.
What would be the minimum requirements from the village in order to operate as a nursing home?
It's not a nursing.
Whatever it is,
Yeah,
whatever
it's
they're
not
trying to
nursing.
do.
Okay.
What are the minimum requirements that you
But
guys?
that's a question you're asking of us, not where I'm looking for, we want to still get information from
Can
the
I answer
applicant.
that though?
I'd like to see a traffic and parking study of similar facilities relative to that lot.
Lighting the village is fairly rigid, and I'm not terribly concerned about lighting.
Mark? Okay. Steve? Okay.
I can't hear.
Art?
Can't hear.
Use your microphone.
Use your microphone.
Please use your microphone. Can we please have order?
Just one, somebody left their phone up here, so I don't.
Somebody left their phone?
Somebody left their phone? It has.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The village.
Oh, okay.
The village owns the property next door, right? Right here? Right next door.
Yeah, didn't our last mayor say put something
You
on
have
the?
an empty lot right here. Right? Do you or you don't? Come on.
Yeah, we do,
You
so.
do. So why don't you get this nice gentleman that you don't so much like, put them next to you, right here?
So I understand, what you're saying to me is, it's okay to put it there for the
No, it is
neighbors,
not okay,
for the
but you guys
neighbors.
are pushing it to
for the
us,
neighbors
that it
who
is
are-
okay to have them in Riverwood.
I understand, but I think as a whole concept, what you're saying is that it's okay to put it
No,
there.
it is not okay.
What are you
The point is that you guys so far, all of you, which by the way you should resign all of you, that's my opinion. First of all, as everybody said, we didn't get any notice. Why we didn't get any notice of this thing? Why we don't know about this thing? What are you guys hiding?
So two things, okay,
Answer this one. Answer this one.
I'm gonna answer you.
Okay.
I'm gonna answer you. Number one, I came out and I said that we have to review the ordinance, that the village should do that about notification, no question. And number two,
But this is not the first time.
your perception is that we are for that. I haven't heard one commissioner, plan commissioner,
When
say.
you guys were asking, no, but it's
you know
enough. But it is enough. It is enough because you guys
I have given you-
all the questions that you put out there was how much you guys gonna make it, how the people gonna be.
Okay, you know
That
what?
wasn't our concern. This
I
is not
understand
our
that.
concern.
But we listened to your concern, we took notes of your concern. We're not going to think of everything ourselves. We haven't voted yet. There is a lot of perception that you think that we are going to vote positive for that. Quite honestly, I don't know what the commissioners think.
We shouldn't be here. Let me explain to you.
By law, we must be here. By law.
No, hold on a second. You had to exhaust all the options legally. No, I understand, and I've been doing deals much bigger than this, and I know what's going on, and that's why I'm playing the dumb here. But you guys have to exhaust all the legal
Yes,
entities that you have.
we have to. This is
Did
part
you
of
do
the-
that? Did you do that? So
This is part of it.
In order.
This is part of it.
Before that, there's the due diligence that you guys need to do.
Let me have this for a moment. I'm sorry if you don't believe in the First Amendment. but
You know
these
what?
people
I'm
have a
gonna
right
put my
to
house for
present- They have a
sale,
right to
and then you
present
guys-
what they are asking for, just as you have a right to tell us why you think we shouldn't allow them to do it. And that's all we've done tonight, is hear what they asked for, and now we've heard what you've said. So please, and what I'm hearing is going to be adjourned. But the First Amendment and the right to petition still exists here for these people as well as everyone else in this room. So please, don't take the attitude that this is a done deal. All this is the first step that has to be taken to allow them to come and ask for something, just as any of you could come before us and ask for something. So don't think that this means it's a done deal. This is only a hearing. And so some people are gone. I'm sorry my lecture is for you. I think most of you understand that, and I appreciate it. Certainly, we heard a lot of very good ideas and questions this evening. So please don't think anything is a done deal. And in case you don't know, I'm the mayor, so you can know this. I'm sorry, sir?
We're going to have a decision. All I'm going to take.
Okay, the way the process works is it comes before the Plan Commission. We have a public hearing, which is an official thing. They will form a record that judgments are supposed to be worked from. Then they will make a recommendation, yea or nay, to the board of trustees.
How much what are you talking about, time-wise? Months?
It could be any number of months. I doubt if it would be less than 3 or 4 months, and probably longer than that. But frankly, since everybody here, with the exception of petitioners, doesn't want it to happen, the fact that it takes longer is not a detriment to you.
It is a
Other
detriment.
than, pardon me, madam, I would like to speak. You have been interrupting everyone this evening.
Right, that's good.
And I will talk louder than you
It's a
if that's your
detriment,
criteria.
but you can't sell your property when the word gets around that that's opening up in a few
Are you
minutes.
finished now, madam?
Of course it's a detriment.
Wait, are you finished now?
Yeah, I'm finished.
Please talk some more if you wish, but I would like to have an opportunity to speak without being interrupted.
Well, you said it's not a detriment, but it is.
It may be a detriment because it's hanging over your heads, which is what I was going to say before I was interrupted. And I recognize that's important to you as well. You'd like to have it resolved, and I think I know how most of you would like to have it resolved. But please don't think this is being run through. Notice, that's normally incumbent upon the petitioner. We're hearing that it was not perhaps properly carried out. That's a question that the Plan Commission will address. If you didn't get notice and you should have, we'll ask them to explain why you didn't. I'm not taking a position either way, but they have a requirement establishing that they gave notice to the people who were supposed to get it. And I would imagine for future meetings, we will probably have a broader notice covering a larger area, because I've heard that requested this evening. So please, I understand some of you are very upset about this and you're very emotional, but please don't think that these people are bad or anyone else here is. We're simply trying to give everyone a fair opportunity. We are listening to you as well. We've heard a number of things that raise very serious questions that even if something were allowed, we would put restrictions on it that they may not find acceptable, but may be necessary to protect our residents. Okay? So please have a little patience and recognize there is a system in place. We do have to follow due process. They can't say, no, we don't like it, we're not going to talk to you. I can't do that as mayor. So please understand that we have to follow these rules, even though I know you adamantly feel that it should be denied. And some people may not like the rules as long as it's not working in their favor, but we don't have that option. I took an oath to uphold all of the laws and ordinances, not just the ones I like. And that protects you so that I don't get to do whatever I want in your neighborhoods. So I'll get off my soapbox now, but I think this Plan Commission is probably being accused of a lot of things that they're not necessarily guilty of. David, please let me turn it back to you.
Thank you. So our next step will be, we're going to adjourn. We're going to continue this meeting. Okay? Is everybody available next month?
Yeah.
So we'll get it out for sure. We'll increase the notification.
David, may I ask you a question?
Wait, just give me 1 second. You're asking me to multitask. So the first Thursday is March 7th. So we will continue the public hearing to March 7th at 7:30 here in the Village Hall. In the meantime, we will submit a list of items that we're requesting from the applicant to answer and continue it at that point. Go ahead.
Danny, why are we continuing a meeting where it is evident that you have heard the views of the people of Riverwoods? All of the points, I believe, have been brought up. I don't see any reason to continue the meeting. I think the Planning Commission knows now in detail how the people of Riverwood feel. We represent them. It would be nice if there were a lot of other people here, but I think it's a waste of time to continue the meeting to discuss this. You should have the information now to know, hopefully, that this doesn't fit into this community, period.
Well, one of the reasons is, Dr. Douglas, is you were very strong in asking us to get written responses to your questions, to which that is one of the things that we will do before we want to vote. We want to get your answers. So that's the next step.
You're going to send out.
We will send out another notification to a larger area of the village.
What do you mean by a larger area?
At this point, I don't have an answer right off the top of my head.
Everybody in Riverwood should get a notification.
We'll expand it, we'll have a conversation, we'll expand it. I'm not going to commit to something I don't have an answer to as I sit here. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Second.